The league is at it again, trying to get to the Eagles. The truth of the matter is this. The reason why we win, we're better than everybody else. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here. You know, first they said the Eagles were just a really lucky team. Then they said that the Eagles and their quarterback wasn't that good, and it was just that they had a super team around them. Now, the reason why the Eagles are winning is because they cheat during the push-tush. The league, let me make no mistake about it, the league is after the Eagles. Everything you've seen going on the last few days about the Tush Push and it being a horrible play and the way everything has fallen into place, this is an inside job. This is a job that is being done to vilify the Eagles even more than usual and make sure that the Tush Push is banned after this year. The problem for the league? It ain't getting banned this year, and we're going to shove it up your butts all year long. Now, before we get into it, there's a few things I want to talk about today because I'm a little bit wired and fired up about this. Everything I've been seeing and reading the last few days with these teams saying, oh, the Eagles are always cheating on the play, which is total bullcrap, okay? So I'm a little fired up. I'm sorry this video is late. I had a dentist appointment today. I couldn't talk like this all day. And I can just start to talk normal again, so I apologize that this video is late. But in the meantime, we do got some things going on. Vic Fangio today spoke, and he said something that I didn't want to hear. He said, I thought Adoree Jackson, his performance was improved. I thought he did some good things. And hopefully that will kickstart him into being a good corner for us. Where? Corner of the bench? Oh, what is he talking about? Maybe he took a nice clean sip of a Gatorade during the game. He stinks. He stinks. I hope they don't stick with this guy because I'm going to tell you, this week we've got a lot to worry about. And listen, we got a big game this week, and we got to talk about this game. Today I just got to get all this other crap out. But we got a big game this week. You've got two really good receivers that had great games last week. You know, Devontae Adams, 6 catches, 106 yards and a touchdown last week. Puka Nacua, 8 catches, 136 yards and a touchdown. These guys are good. They don't mess around. And this game versus the Rams, let me tell you, the next 2 games that we're going to play between the Rams and the Buccaneers are huge. They're huge games early in the year, and people may be saying it's too early to think about the playoffs. It's never too early to think about the playoffs when you're thinking in terms of building a record, building a tie-breaking record. You beat the Rams and you beat the Bucs the next 2 weeks. Eagles are running away with this conference. Okay, that's just the fact of the matter is. Because people can say what they want. People can complain about what they want. The Eagles aren't doing this. The Eagles aren't doing that. But the truth of the matter is, this team hasn't even played good football yet. They just beat 2 teams. One team stinks and was up for the game, but it was a division game. And a lot of weird things happened. The Eagles survived that. Then they go to Kansas City. I don't care what anybody says. It's never, ever, ever, ever easy to play in Kansas City. The Eagles went and they play in Kansas City. And what did they do? They beat them. Okay, a team that just had lost to them in a Super Bowl. There was every reason to think the Chiefs would pull this game off, but they didn't. And that tells me this is a good team that has to get some things figured out. The most scary thing to figure out is the offensive coordinator. I listened to his press conference today. Let me say this. I'm not saying he's going to be a bad offensive coordinator. I'm not saying that we should write him off or fire. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that I didn't get a lot of confidence from what he said in the press conference today. Okay, when he was talking about, well, we didn't do read options yet, we'll do them. We didn't do this yesterday yet, but we'll do them. Well, there were some plays we made, but they weren't made. I don't know. Kind of maybe it's the way he says it, but I feel like, does he know what he's doing? Does he know what he's doing? But at the same time, it is unfair for me to sit there after 2 weeks and make a judgment. You can't do it. It's impossible. We have to wait to see what he does. Remember, last year, first 4 weeks, we struggled. And at times on offense, we really struggled. And, we may get a big run by Barkley, and it made everything look better. Think about that New Orleans game, right? The Atlanta game. I mean, we struggled offensively those first 4 weeks, and we figured it out. We got to give him a chance to figure it out. We got to, okay? And while he's figuring out, this is my plan for the weekend. Now would be a great time to talk about our new sponsor, ProfitX. ProfitX is the ultimate sports prediction market. Join thrilling sweepstakes to make peer-to-peer plays with fellow fans. Set your own odds for bigger payouts. All legal in 40 states. Outsmart your friends. Elevate your game with ProfitX. All you got to do is use promo code Philly500 at the sign-up to get up to $200 in ProfitX cash. That's $200 in ProfitX cash. All you have to do is use promo code Philly500. Must be of legal age. Void where prohibited. Start now at ProfitX. One of the plays that I really like this week when it comes to this game, the Eagles and the Rams, I like the fact that the Eagles are being villainized. I like the fact that people are talking a lot of crap about them. I think this plays into our hands. I got the Eagles to win by a touchdown. I think they're going to win by a touchdown. That's why I'm taking my play. I'm taking the 3.5 points for this game. Eagles are given 3.5. I'm taking it. I think they're going to win by a touchdown. And if you like this, you could go to ProfitX, download the app, and you can get $200 in ProfitX cash. Just use promo code Philly500. That's Philly500, and get $200 in ProfitX cash. Shout out to ProfitX. Once again, shout out to ProfitX for sponsoring today's video. And like I said, I think that when you look at the Eagles and you look at the two biggest issues on the team, that second cornerback play and that offensive coordinator and how they've been calling games and the things that they've been doing, I think they're both fixable. I think if you get Dwight Jackson out, that could help. But I think the offensive coordinator, they can make changes. And I'm going to give Patullo a chance. I'm not going to write him off or say he can do this or can't do this. I think it until at least week 5 or 6. Let's see what adjustments he makes, okay? I think they got to get this run game going this week, though, versus the Rams. What I expect, my expectations this week are this. The Eagles' offense will look better than it has the first 2 weeks. It won't be perfect, but the run game will be much improved, and some things are going to start working, okay? And then in that Tampa Bay game, I expect it to be even better then, okay? And then I kind of feel like we'll start to get humming. I will say this, though. The defense is way ahead of where I thought it would be. I thought the defense would take a lot more time to come along. I think you got 2 stars in Jahad Campbell and Andrew Mukuba. Mukuba, game-saving play he made as a rookie. We had 2 rookies contributing. Zadarius Smith made a huge benefit to the Eagles and that pass rush. I think he was really good for his first game. And obviously you can see, and Vic Fangio talked about, Jalen Carter is not in football shape yet. He hasn't practiced all preseason. He started off with a shoulder injury. It's going to take some while because he looked a little tired to me in that Kansas City game. However, my boy Jordan Davis looked great. Okay, now shifting back to the offensive side of the ball for the Eagles. One thing may help is that it looks like the Rams are going to be without their starting corner. Adam Schefter, Mr. Schefter, we're going to talk about you in a minute. Rams placed cornerback Akello Witherspoon on injured reserve due to a broken clavicle. So he's going to be out. Will that help or hurt the offense? We'll find out. We will definitely find out this week. Like I said, Patullo's got to make adjustments, and they need to make it now. Okay? Listen, the Eagles are not going to get any calls. They're not going to get any breaks. And we know as Eagle fans, they haven't gotten breaks. There's 2 teams in this league that get every call that they need, that are spoiled beyond belief when it comes to the referees, and they don't see it. They're the biggest complainers, right? The Dallas Cowboy fans, biggest complainers when it comes to they think, every call should be a hold or something against the other team. The Eagles had 9 penalties. The Giants had 14 penalties, 160 yards, ridiculous. Okay, these were half of those calls were ridiculous calls, and then they have like 4 calls against the Eagles. I don't know how many against the Giants, and they're always offsetting or on special teams when the Cowboys get called for it. Then you get the Kansas City Chiefs. They sit there and they're crying about the Tush Push. The Tush Push, okay, yeah, the Eagles were offsides a few times. They were missing the call in that game, right? But you got them crying. The fans are crying. I mean, these are the same people that get away with holds, get phantom, calls late in playoff games so that they can win games. Super Bowl, they get a hold so that they can basically run out the clock at Eagles. Nobody should be complaining if you're a Kansas City Chief fan or a Cowboy fan on calls, because you've gotten so many calls over the years. It's ridiculous, right? And now what they're doing is the league is using, clearly, this is a coordinated attack, okay? This is a planned attack on the Eagles with the Tush Push. You heard Brady and what he said about the Tush Push, talking about the offsides. Then you get the head of the officiating that comes on Fox News talking about how much he hates it. I hate the Tush Push. I hate the Tush Push. Then you got the nerve of Adam Schefter coming and saying, the Eagles, they won in March because the league should have banned it, and they didn't. This is clearly a coordinated attack to vilify the Tush Push, get everybody against it, okay? That's what's going on here. That's why they've got this stupid virtual measurement. I told you the virtual measurement don't work. It's fake. It's phony. It's a fraud. What do they use it for? To say the Eagles didn't get the first down on a Tush Push. Look at the last game. Jalen Hurts does a Tush Push, clearly got a first down, and they say he's 6 inches short. There was no shot. That has been installed, I believe, to screw the Eagles. No question about it. They tried to ban the Tush Push. Now they're going after the Eagles on how they use the salary cap, even though it's totally legal in what they're doing. Now they're trying to say that the Eagles are only good because they use a Tush Push, which, they cheat and do it. They got away with some offsides versus the Chiefs. Maybe they've gotten away from some offsides with other games. I haven't gone back and watched every Tush Push for the last 2 years. But I can tell you this, okay? Maybe one of the reasons why they can't call the offsides on the Eagles, and maybe one of the issues is that every time the defense lines up, they line up in the neutral zone during a Tush Push. You can look at every game. Go back last year. How many times did we complain about it? Teams literally line up over the ball. They line up in the neutral zone, and the refs don't call it. They don't call it. So if you're going to sit there and start crying about the offsides, then stop lining up in the neutral zone. Let's be fair. But they don't want to do that. They want to vilify it. They want everybody against us, and then they want to outlaw it because we're the only team that can run it. It's pathetic. And what the Eagles need to do, the Eagles need to go out and run it all the time. Run it all the time. Come out with merchandise with it. Do it all the time. Get more sponsorships for it. Do it and drive the NFL nuts. Drive everybody nuts. You got the Rams coach is going to talk to the league about the Tush Push this week. You got Devontae Adams making statements about it. They're crybabies. They're all crybabies because they can't do it and don't work for them. So they are vilifying. This is a planned attack on the Eagles, and it's not going to work. We're going to ignore it. They're all going to cry and talk about this and that and the other, and we're just going to go out and win. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go out and win championships. All this all this stuff with the Tush Push. Yeah, the Eagles were offsides a couple times in that game. They were. That's not every single Tush Push they've done for the last 2 years. That's absolutely ridiculous. They can't stop it. They're not going to be able to stop it. And you know what? If you take it away, you're not going to stop Jalen Hurts on the quarterback sneak. It's just the facts of the matter. Okay, it is what it is. And once again, sorry I didn't have my live stream earlier today. I couldn't be there for that, said the dentist, but we will kick it back up tomorrow. So look for that. We'll have a lot to talk about. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. like I always say, okay, the Eagles win. We sit there as Eagle fans and we expect more. We talk about all the mistakes. Cowboys barely win, get lucky and win versus the Giants. They think they're going back to the Super Bowl. That's the difference between fan base that knows what winning's like and one that doesn't. Denzel Washington out. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.